it's time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass of your receiver. It all simultaneously with joints and ride. We earn 30 years so you can say we got. Dream turn live off the board, unlike you and your chess man. And if the game has veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all ground. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, y'all keep it flow. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Turn it up, y'all keep it flow. Are you ready? Set? Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady, to the letter, right? Turn it up, we giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket? You rock it like rockets, fool. That's a close encounter of what kind?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jonathan Coachman, and this is Super Bowl Sunday on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they...
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, fielded about a yard deep. And they're going to have good starting field position. He's out of bounds, but not before he's across the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Mayfield to throw it. Well, he's going to take a shot right away. And it's knocked away and incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. And now it's 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Mayfield now, buying time to his left. He'll let it go deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. With a first touchdown of the Super Bowl and a long one at that. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak Prescott heading out to lead the Dallas Cowboys, but it's been Zeke who's gotten most of the headlines. However, Dak's got a contract situation looming in his own right, Charles. He'll be a free agent at the end of the year. Jerry Jones has said that signing him is a priority, that they'd be comfortable playing the season.
Well, they may be comfortable playing the season, but you've got a quarterback who needs to be signed for the future. And when you look at what's happened in the offseason and in their own division in Philadelphia with Carson Wentz getting his contract, he set the number now. And I would expect Dak to get something along the lines of what Carson Wentz got. Remember, he has not missed a start since he's come into the league. Talk about Dak Prescott.
And worth noting, the Cowboys have won 2/3 of those starts and 2 NFC East titles in his 3 NFL seasons as well. Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie. Oh, Prescott stripped. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. And
he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Browns are able to strike quickly for 6. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And before the Cowboys get going here on this drive, the big news for them all summer, if you're a fantasy player, I'm sure you've been paying attention to it as well, as Zeke working out. And Jerry Jones, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown.
What you just saw there, first-round talent, 2nd year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season, it's big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. Thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here. But you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And he'll get this one down at the 20-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield being chased. The Browns are in. Touchdown. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
So that drive, 4 plays. And it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Dak and the Cowboy offense heading back onto the field. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Oh, Prescott stripped, and this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Good job, D. Good job, D.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's the 2nd fumble here in the first quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him? Or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
Mayfield now after the fumble recovery. Steps away to his left. Now they'll have it 1st and goal following that gain of 17. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the...
And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He told us he was going to hit the end zone a couple times in this game. I just don't know that he envisioned doing it in the first quarter.
He probably did. I'm not sure we did,
yeah.
Right? Because all the great ones, that's what they do. They dream about it, right? They think about it. They envision it. They think it's going to happen and almost will themselves into it. I just look at what he's done so far and just wonder what's left to come. Let's sit back and enjoy this one.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the 6 points, they got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. On you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try to keep him away from their plays.
We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Returnable here for Callaway. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory.
So they wound up passing on a long field goal try, but that works out for them really well. That one's down inside the 5-yard line.
And it's risky because your punter, if he puts it in the end zone, the net result not worth it, but there, I think worth it. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now Mayfield
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. Fourth down. Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on fourth down. Here's Mayfield. He's got Njoku over the middle. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 12 on 4th and 10, just enough for the conversion. And defensively, an opportunity slips away. So that last play gives him a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Forced out to his left. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. Throw left side, caught by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move.
And this is caught inside the 5. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl as his guys continue to pour it on. That's a prime example of the danger that Baker Mayfield presents when he's able to get outside of the pocket.
And we see many quarterbacks do this in the league. A lot of them have that good mobility, but we see them, they're more like striders, right? There's a smoothness to them. When I watch Baker Mayfield, everything is sharp, hard, aggressive, and he turns it into a big-time shot downfield in a monster play.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots, but when you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive. Just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of 1st.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now Callaway on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Beckham and the Browns set to take over again. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some speed.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Olivier Vernon coming in with some force for the sack that time. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. This is Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott gonna take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
Browns offense working their way back out here, Charles. And one thing is already for sure about these Browns. They're not going to lack for storylines. When you think about this, so this team has not had a winning record since George W. Bush was president. Was 0-16 2 years ago. And now they're not just getting playoff buzz, they're getting Super Bowl buzz.
Well, partner, it shows what getting the right quarterback to lead your franchise can do for you, because Baker Mayfield is taking that city, and I would dare say the league, by storm, and played awfully well as a rookie. Should have been the starter right from week 1. Add in Odell Beckham Jr., no doubt this team's going to be fiery. And let's not overlook Jarvis Landry. He plays with passion out on the perimeter. I think the division's down a little bit. Could be theirs for the taking, but they'll still have to battle Pittsburgh and Baltimore if they want to make that jump.
The throw over the middle, taken in. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. A reminder, coming up at intermission, we'll get highlights of the Super Bowl from Jonathan Coachman and the crew in Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He was trying to go back to Beckham there, but it'll be 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Mayfield with it once more. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Sean Lee, the linebacker, able to get a hand in coverage.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back.
And sometimes pride wins, doesn't it? Because, yes, they're getting steamrolled here right now. They're down big, and they're going to try a fake field goal against them. Yeah, I'm not supposed to root, but good for them for stopping that one and showing that they haven't given up on this game.
Yeah, I just can't believe, though, that they tried to fake with this wide of a margin up that big. But like you said, kudos to the D.
Yeah, if the blood wasn't bad before, it might have started that way now.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense helped the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
Breaks free again. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've had a very solid first half, and as we near the end of that first half, they're just looking for a little more on top of their lead right now.
And when you put together a game plan on offense, you put together what you think is going to be the best possible scenario, right? Hey, we're going to score. These are the plays that are going to do it. But you also put together your counters, meaning after they make adjustments to what you're doing, what do we have to go to next?
The adjustment to the adjustment?
Exactly. So I can't wait to see if we come out of the half, how they're going to go about doing things. Do you just keep running what you ran before, or do you go to your counters expecting those adjustments to happen?
Before that, we'll see the end here of this first half. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Dancing to his left. Touchdown, Cleveland.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Joseph now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too.
Oh, Elliott's going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. Baker Mayfield. taking it in. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Joseph now to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And this Browns defense coming to life. They get him behind the line for a second straight play. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And just like that, it's third down. Make it now 3 tackles for a loss in this game, 1 for each quarter.
And for a guy who played defense in college, I can just tell you that he's feeling very satisfied right now.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Olivier Vernon, his second sack of the night.
How about that, partner? His second sack of the game, and that puts him in some pretty good company. 17 guys have had 2 sacks in the previous 52 Super Bowls, but only 3 have had the record number of 3 sacks in this game.
And we've got the list here. If he gets another one and everyone behaves nicely, we might just list those out for him. And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there, 17 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 74 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. And that touchdown reception is the 5th for him in this game, and that ties the NFL record.
And a record that's held up since 1950. This is another person that's tied it, but think about this. Bob Shaw said it in 1950. Kellen Winslow came along and tied it. And then, of course, Jerry Rice tied it as well. And finally, we're seeing it here one more time. Phenomenal.
And they're able to get the connection on the long touchdown pass. And that's one of the easiest drive summaries you'll ever see. 1 play, touchdown.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On second down, Elliott. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
Prescott from the gun on third. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They go to Elliott again. And maybe a pleasure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing, Prescott, throw right side, taken in by Gallup. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. On 2nd down, Mayfield again.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
He's got a man, complete. Odell Beckham Jr. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Odell Beckham, an even 90 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think
and the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Olivier Vernon bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Prescott, and his throw is going to be incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott here up at about the 22-yard line.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Fielded at the 20. Wiggles free. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Mayfield looks to throw. Buying time to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw, Mayfield being chased out left. He'll let it go deep for... Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 65 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I've lost track of how many times he's been in the end zone. This is just flat unbelievable.
Doesn't matter whether you have an abacus, a calculator, just old-fashioned pencil and paper trying to total it up. The number is staggering. What a performance. This man knows how to find the end zone and make it count.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's... And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Denzel Ward. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Following the interception, Mayfield steps away to his left. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes, someone delivering it accurately, offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record, but he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
Joseph now to kick this one away. This is taken near the 13. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be...
Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Prescott completes it to Jason Witten. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think to last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swain, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Prescott looks to throw on first. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No,
without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, 39 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Joseph now to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So that one will be accepted.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of...
Now the ball comes loose. And this is picked up by the Browns.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Even. Go. Let's go.
Throwing, Mayfield. This will be caught inside the 10. Now he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
And it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down. A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Mayfield down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Browns take advantage of... Field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Just a 4-play drive that time. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over.